Forests have always been places of mystery, their dense canopies casting perpetual shadows that whisper secrets. Their isolation from human civilization makes them ideal stages for the supernatural, where imagination blurs with reality and darkness thrives unchecked. From twisted branches that resemble grasping hands to hidden clearings steeped in silence, forests evoke a primal unease that taps into our deepest fears. Across the world, countless cultures tell stories of spectral figures wandering ancient woods, spirits trapped by tragic pasts, or creatures lurking just beyond sight. These dark legends endure because forests embody both refuge and peril, a duality that invites tales of the unknown, forever drawing the curious and the brave into their shadowy embrace. Number 1. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. Nestled at the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara, the notorious forest known ominously as the Sea of Trees. Its dense growth of moss-covered roots and twisted trees creates an unsettling labyrinth, where sunlight struggles to pierce the canopy, casting perpetual gloom. The eeriness here is palpable, intensified by silence, broken only by faint rustles and ghostly whispers, as if unseen presences lurk nearby. While its natural beauty is undeniable, Aokigahara has become infamous for more sinister reasons, earning a chilling second name, Suicide Forest. For decades, troubled souls have ventured here, seeking escape in its shadowy depths, often never to return. Authorities frequently discover remnants of abandoned campsites and personal belongings, tragic reminders of those who lost themselves in despair. This sorrowful history has given rise to unsettling reports from visitors who swear the forest itself holds onto the emotional anguish, manifesting as spectral figures that drift between the trees. Hikers recount hearing mournful cries or feeling inexplicable pulls toward darker paths, as if invisible hands beckon them deeper into the gloom. Local folklore speaks of yurei, tormented spirits unable to find rest, forever bound to the site of their tragic ends. These apparitions reportedly appear pale and shrouded, silently moving through the underbrush, vanishing abruptly into mist. Many who brave the forest describe overwhelming sensations of being watched or followed, accompanied by disembodied whispers, pleas, and regrets echoing softly, as if from another world. Even skeptics who dismiss supernatural explanations admit to experiencing profound unease within Aokigahara. The combination of its tragic legacy, oppressive silence, and labyrinthine pathways makes it a uniquely haunting location, one that blurs the line between reality and the supernatural, leaving an indelible mark upon all who enter. Number 2. Hoia-Baciu Forest, Romania. In the heart of Transylvania lies Hoia-Baciu Forest, an eerie woodland often called the Bermuda Triangle of Romania. Named after a shepherd who vanished there, along with his flock, the forest carries tales of inexplicable disappearances and chilling encounters. Locals warn visitors against straying too far, whispering that once you enter, there's no guarantee you'll return unchanged or at all. Those who do venture within speak of disorienting sensations. Compasses spin wildly, electronic devices fail without reason, and the dense trees seem to shift position, making it impossible to retrace steps. At night, the forest becomes even more unsettling, with flickering lights reported dancing between branches and strange metallic objects seen hovering silently above. These UFO sightings have earned Hoia-Baciu notoriety worldwide, attracting curiosity seekers and paranormal investigators eager to glimpse otherworldly phenomena. The most peculiar place in this already enigmatic forest is a perfect circular clearing where nothing grows, a barren patch devoid of vegetation, stubbornly resisting any attempts to cultivate life. Scientists have failed repeatedly to explain its sterility, leaving the imagination free to conjure theories of supernatural or extraterrestrial intervention. Many who enter the clearing describe an oppressive stillness, an unnatural quiet broken only by faint whispers carried on the breeze. Some visitors emerge feeling drained or ill, others with inexplicable scratches or burns marking their skin. Tales abound of shadowy figures weaving silently through the trees, appearing briefly before melting back into the darkness. Witnesses recall disembodied laughter, the sound echoing through the emptiness without an identifiable source. Cameras frequently capture strange orbs of light or misty apparitions, fueling speculation about interdimensional gateways hidden among the twisted trunks. Even seasoned explorers confess the forest's palpable strangeness defies rational explanation. Hoia-Baciu remains a place shrouded in mystery, guarding secrets that seem destined never to be fully unraveled, compelling those brave enough to enter to question the boundaries between reality and the unknown. Number 3. Black Forest, Schwarzwald, Germany. In Germany's southwest corner lies the Black Forest known locally as Schwarzwälder, vast expanse of densely wooded hills, shrouded in mist and mystery. With towering trees so thick they block out the sun, it's easy to see how this foreboding landscape inspired the Grimm brothers to pen their darkest fairy tales. Yet, even before these legendary storytellers immortalized its shadowy paths, the Black Forest was deeply entwined with ancient folklore and spectral tales passed down through generations. Travelers have long whispered of encounters with ghostly knights roaming the forest's winding trails, their armor gleaming faintly under moonlight. These phantom figures are said to ride silently between the towering pines, forever bound to a forgotten quest, eternally patrolling the darkened woods. Local lore speaks of one particularly feared apparition, a knight cursed for betrayal, condemned to wander endlessly, searching for redemption he will never find. Hidden deeper among the forest's secret groves and moss-covered ruins linger the restless spirits of monks. Witnesses claim these spectral figures glide quietly among the trees, their cowled heads bowed in eternal penitence. Some report hearing distant Gregorian chants drifting through the stillness, the echoes of ancient rituals performed centuries ago. It's believed these monks are guardians of sacred sites long since reclaimed by nature, protecting secrets no living soul remembers. Yet, perhaps most unsettling are tales of older entities, ancient spirits said to predate human history itself. Pagan traditions once flourished within the depths of the Black Forest, where druids performed mysterious rites beneath its sprawling canopy. Visitors occasionally describe an overpowering sensation of being watched, of unseen eyes peering from behind every tree. Sudden chills and inexplicable dread grip even the bravest hikers, as though something primordial stirs beneath the earth, resentful of intrusion. These enduring legends have made Schwarzwald more than just a forest. It is a place where fantasy blurs with reality, where echoes of a dark past intertwine with the shadows, leaving travelers wondering if perhaps those old grim tales hold more truth than anyone dares admit. Number 4. Freetown, Fall River State Forest, USA. Deep in southeastern Massachusetts lies the Freetown Fall River State Forest, a stretch of woodland nestled within the infamous Bridgewater Trianglian area, long associated with unexplained phenomena and unsettling tales. Though serene at first glance, the forest holds a dark reputation, woven together by decades of reports involving cult activity, strange creatures, and violent energies that refuse to be ignored. During the late 1970s and into the 80s, police uncovered chilling evidence of satanic rituals within the forest's depths, stone altars stained dark, remnants of animal sacrifices, and crude symbols carved into trees. Whispers of cults meeting under moonlight to perform unspeakable rites still circulate among locals, and some claim those rituals opened doors that should have remained shut. Hikers report stumbling across mutilated animal remains, always fresh, always positioned as if part of some grim offering. Beyond these earthly horrors, there's something older and darker at work here. Visitors often speak of being followed by shadowy figures human-shaped, but utterly silent, vanishing the moment light touches them. These entities move just beyond the periphery, like predators testing the edges of vision. Some believe they are spirits drawn to the forest's violent history. Others fear there's something far worse, entities not of this world but of some ancient, unknowable darkness. Even in broad daylight, the forest exudes a strange heaviness. Compasses fail, GPS units flicker, and phones inexplicably lose signal. Orbs of light, sometimes bluish, sometimes red, float between the trees at night, bobbing and weaving with intelligence as though observing. Those who've tried to follow them report losing time, stepping off trail only to find themselves miles from where they began. More than a few have gone missing entirely, only to be discovered days later, dazed, with no memory of what happened. Locals often speak in hushed tones of the forest's darker corners, areas avoided even in daylight, places where the air feels wrong, where birds go silent, and where travelers feel an overwhelming urge to leave. Some describe hearing whispered voices, not quite comprehensible, urging them deeper into the woods. Others feel sudden waves of dread or nausea, as if the forest itself is rejecting them. Freetown Fall River State Forest is more than just a haunted forest. It's a place where cruelty, ritual, and mystery have soaked into the soil, giving rise to something that watches and waits. It is a reminder that evil does not always need a face. Sometimes it simply lives in the silence between the trees. Number 5. Witchwood Forest, England. In the rolling countryside of Oxfordshire, Witchwood Forest stretches in quiet defiance of time, its ancient oaks and winding trails holding centuries of secrets. Once part of a royal hunting ground, the forest is now better known for something far less regal: its ghosts. Stories of spectral figures and prophetic warnings have haunted the woodlands for generations, none more enduring than the tale of Amy Robsart, whose tragic death in 1560 left a mystery steeped in blood and betrayal. Amy was the wife of Robert Dudley, a favored courtier of Queen Elizabeth I. When she was found dead at the bottom of a staircase, speculation of murder swirled, especially with Dudley's rising closeness to the Queen. Officially ruled an accident, her death never sat right with history, and according to legend, it didn't sit well with Amy either. She is said to wander the forest still, a translucent figure in a pale gown appearing to those who cross her path. But this is no ordinary haunting. Encountering Amy is said to bring a dark omen. Those who claim to have seen her speak of personal tragedy shortly after, as if her sorrow infects all who witness it. Witchwood's haunted lore doesn't end with Amy. Deep within the forest, riders have been seen galloping between the trees, no sound, no explanation. These are no living equestrians, but ghostly horsemen cloaked in mist, vanishing as quickly as they appear. Some describe feeling the rumble of hooves beneath their feet, only to turn and find the forest empty. Others speak of riders dressed in outdated hunting garb, their faces obscured by shadow, gliding through the trees as if still chasing prey that no longer exists. Even those who see nothing report sensations they can't shake, whispers on the wind, sometimes clear, sometimes distorted as if the forest is trying to speak, but can't quite form the words. The most unnerving accounts describe voices calling names, always familiar, always wrong. Many visitors have reported hearing their own name whispered just behind them, only to turn and find no one there. It's as if the forest listens, learns, and then speaks in the voice of memory. Locals have long avoided Witchwood after dark, warning that the forest seems to change at night. Paths twist into unfamiliar shapes, lights flicker between trees, and a suffocating sense of dread settles over even the most seasoned hikers. It's as though the forest is alive, watching and remembering those who dare disturb its haunted peace. Witchwood Forest remains a place suspended between history and legend, a woodland where time folds strangely and spirits linger long after death. Those who enter may find beauty and quiet, but beneath the rustling leaves lies a presence that never truly lets go. Number 6. Isla de las Muñecas, Island of the Dolls, Mexico. Hidden deep within the canals of Xochimilco, just south of Mexico City, lies a place unlike any other, a small, overgrown island, tangled with vegetation and cloaked in silence, where thousands of decaying dolls hang lifelessly from trees, fences, and wooden shacks. This is the Isla de las Muñecas, the Island of the Dolls. Though not a forest in the traditional sense, the island's dense thickets and gnarled trees form a canopy of shadows and staring eyes, where the boundary between the living and the dead feels dangerously thin. The legend begins with Don Julian Santana Barrera, a man who retreated to the island decades ago to live in solitude. Shortly after settling there, he claimed to discover the body of a young girl who had drowned in the surrounding waters. Days later, a doll floated to shore, which he hung from a tree as a sign of respect her, perhaps as an offering. But something shifted. Don Julian became convinced that the girl's spirit haunted the island, her presence lingering in the murky canal and whispering through the leaves. Driven by fear or guilt, or perhaps something else entirely, he began collecting more dolls, salvaging them from trash heaps and barter trades, hanging them from every tree and structure, their cracked faces and hollow eyes watching silently. Over the years, the island transformed into a chilling shrine, each doll more weathered, eyeless, or headless than the last. What was once a symbol of protection soon took on a darker tone. Visitors speak of an oppressive atmosphere that thickens the moment you step ashore. The dolls, worn by decades of sun and rain, seem almost sentient. People have reported seeing their limbs twitch, heads turn, or eyes follow them from tree to tree. Some swear they've heard the dolls whispering in hushed tone-soft giggles, pleading cries, or angry murmurs that drift on the humid breeze. Tour guides and locals refuse to spend the night, claiming the island changes after dark. Flashlights flicker, boats untie themselves. Voices call out from the reeds in voices eerily close to one's own. Even after Don Julian's death found drowned in the same spot where the girl was said to have died, the energy remains. Some believe his spirit now joins hers, wandering among the dolls he once hung to protect himself from the very force that ultimately consumed him. Today, Isla de las Muñecas is both a tourist attraction and a place of spiritual unease. The dolls, with their cracked faces and lifeless eyes, remain tethered to the trees like forgotten souls, forever watching. Visitors leave with a heavy silence clinging to them, as though the island marks those who enter. And sometimes, if you listen closely enough, you'll hear what sounds like the faint rustle of branches, but it's not the wind, it's the dolls, moving, whispering, waiting. Number 7. Pine Barrens, New Jersey, USA. The Pine Barrens of New Jersey stretch across more than 1 million acres of tangled wilderness, a vast, unyielding sprawl of pitch pine and sandy soil where time seems to warp and the air carries whispers from a darker past. Beneath the stillness of its dense canopy and the soft crunch of pine needles lies a legend that has haunted the region for nearly 3 centuries, the Jersey Devil. According to local lore, the creature was born in 1735 to a woman known as Mother Leeds. Cursed with her 13th child, she cried out in anger that the baby be the devil himself. That night, her wish came true. The infant transforms, sprouting leathery wings, cloven hooves, and a forked tail before vanishing up the chimney into the unforgiving woods. Since then, sightings of the Jersey Devil have persisted, spanning centuries and generations, each retelling adding to its mystery. Rangers, hunters, and travelers alike have reported chilling encounters in the Barrens. Eyewitnesses describe a winged beast with glowing red eyes, standing over 6 feet tall, moving with unnatural speed through the trees or soaring above them, its piercing shriek cutting through the silence like a blade. Horses spook for no reason, Tracks appear in fresh snow, only to vanish mid-trail. And on some nights, distant cries echo from deep within the forest, high-pitched, tortured sounds that don't match any known animal, making even the most seasoned locals hesitate to venture too far. But it isn't just the Jersey Devil that stalks the Pine Barrens. Strange lights have been reported floating through the fog, flickering in unnatural patterns. Some visitors describe sudden disorientation, where trails seem to twist and change, leading them in circles for hours. Others speak of shadowy figures that watch from just beyond the tree line, always silent, always motionless until they're not. Electronics fail without warning, compasses spin in place. And deep within the wilderness are stretches where even birds fall silent, the forest holding its breath. Campers speak of waking to claw marks outside their tents, or of something brushing past them in the night. A few, more shaken, report seeing eye-stow red points glowing from between the trees, watching without blinking. And always, there's the feeling of being followed, of something just behind, hidden in the thickets, waiting. The Pine Barrens wear their haunted reputation like a second skin. It's a place where legend has taken root, fed by centuries of fear and fascination. Whether the Jersey Devil is a creature of myth or something more, those who have heard its crier, felt its presence, know one truth above all. Some legends refuse to die because something keeps breathing life into them. Number 8. Devil's Tramping Ground, North Carolina, USA. Hidden deep in the woods of Chatham County, North Carolina, lies a curious clearing that has baffled and unsettled locals for over a century. Roughly 40 feet in diameter, this barren circle is known as the Devil's Tramping Ground. Within its borders, nothing grows: no grass, no weeds, no trees. Even when nature thrives just inches beyond its edge, the center remains stubbornly sterile, as if scorched by an unseen force. Scientists have tested the soil, finding nothing conclusive. But those who've dared to spend the night say science doesn't belong here, something else does. According to legend, this is where the devil himself rises at night to pace the circle, plotting his misdeeds and casting curses into the world. Locals claim to have seen the ground glow faintly after dusk, a dull red hue like embers buried beneath the earth. Strange footprints sometimes appear by morning, twisted and clawed, leading only in circles and never away. No animals cross the space. Birds avoid flying directly overhead. Even in daylight, the circle feels wrong, too quiet, too still, as though the forest is holding its breath around it. Campers who've braved the clearing tell eerily similar stories. They arrive with gear set up just fine: coolers, tents, even fires, but by morning, their belongings are scattered. Items that were left inside zipped tents wind up yards away, strewn about with no clear tracks or signs of tampering. One man returned to his site to find every object he'd brought: stakes, lanterns, even his boots neatly arranged along the edge of the circle, as if pushed outward by something that refused their presence. Another claimed he woke to find his tent slowly being dragged toward the center, the stakes groaning against the dirt while an icy breeze blew against his face despite the summer heat. Whispers are often heard just after midnight, faint, unintelligible, and always just beyond the edge of understanding. Some say the voices speak in tongues long forgotten. Others hear their own name, drawn out in slow, distorted syllables. A few campers have fled in the middle of the night, convinced they were being watched by something just out of view. Lights flicker at the forest's edge, unnatural in their movement, too fast to be fireflies, too smooth to be flashlights. Despite endless theories, magnetic anomalies, radioactive soil, even ancient Native American warnings, the truth remains elusive. The Devil's Tramping Ground defies explanation, a stubborn wound in the earth where the normal rules seem suspended. Whether it's the devil pacing his infernal path or something older still, one thing is certain: the circle doesn't want company, and those who trespass often leave with more questions than courage. Number 9. Aokigahara Forest, Northern Ireland. Aokigahara Forest, tucked into the quiet hills of County Antrim, Northern Ireland, is the kind of place that feels ancient the moment you step beneath its canopy. The trees are tall and close, their branches tangled like old secrets, and the air is thick with the weight of time. Beneath the moss-covered ground lie traces of Celtic history-forgotten burial sites, stone circles, and ruins believed to have once served as places of ritual for druids long lost to history. But these remnants are not quiet. Locals say the forest still remembers what happened there. For generations, whispers have told of people entering the woods and never coming out. Hikers who strayed from the paths have vanished without a trace. Some were found days later, disoriented and silent, unwilling to speak about what they saw. Others were never found at all. Searchers say compasses spin without reason, and that even the most experienced trackers lose their bearings in Aokigahara's ever-shifting silence. What makes this forest particularly unsettling isn't just its history, it's what people continue to experience today. Visitors report sudden chills, even in the heart of summer, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. Some hear footsteps matching their own, just behind them, echoing in perfect rhythm until they stop and nothing is there. Others speak of voices in the distance, low and murmuring, just loud enough to draw you off the trail, just quiet enough that you can never be certain what they said. Most who follow the voices return shaken or not at all. Shadowy figures are a common thread in these stories. Tall, indistinct shapes that move between trees, sometimes flickering like smoke, sometimes solid enough to cast a shadow of their own. They're always just far enough away to remain unclear, but close enough to make your skin crawl. Some witnesses say the figures simply watch. Others feel pursued, the pressure mounting with every step they take away from the presence. There are no screams, no growls, just the growing dread of knowing you're not alone. Many believe the forest is haunted not by ghosts in the traditional sense, but by ancient energies tied to druidic rites forces that were never meant to be disturbed. The forest, in this telling, isn't just haunted, it's alive, and it remembers. Despite its ominous reputation, Aokigahara draws the curious, the thrill-seekers, and the believers. But the forest gives nothing freely. It's a place that demands respect, and those who treat it lightly often leave with something heavy clinging to them, something they can't quite explain. In Aokigahara, the past is never dead. It's simply hiding, just behind the next tree. Number 10. Daring Woods, Screaming Woods, England. Daring Woods, more ominously known as the Screaming Woods, sits quietly near the village of Pluckley in Kent, officially named one of the most haunted villages in England. But within the twisted, close-packed trees of this ancient woodland, something far darker seems to breathe. The woods are beautiful by day, with shafts of sunlight filtering through the branches and birdsong echoing between trunks. But when night falls, everything changes. The silence becomes oppressive, broken only by what sounds like screaming. The screams aren't just rumor, they're the reason the forest earned its nickname. Countless visitors have reported hearing blood-curdling cries piercing the stillness, wails that rise and fall as if carried by something not quite human. Some say the voices are of long-dead soldiers, others claim they belong to lost souls who wandered in and never found their way out. Whatever their source, the effect is the same, pure, paralyzing dread. Locals speak of ghostly apparitions glimpsed between tree-spale forms flickering just out of focus, vanishing when approached. Some appear to be Victorian children, their clothes soaked as if drowned, their eyes vacant and glassy. Others report the figure of a man in black, standing motionless on the path, his face obscured. He never speaks. He doesn't move. But those who see him often say they feel an overwhelming urge to runas, if something ancient and cold has locked eyes with them. Documented accounts of paranormal investigators lend weight to the legends. EMF spikes, sudden temperature drops, and recorded EVP sessions capturing whispers and pleading voices have all emerged from Daring Woods. One team claimed to hear footsteps circling their camp throughout the night, heavy, deliberate, always just out of sight. Another fled mid-investigation after a team member collapsed, overcome by an unseen force pressing against his chest like a hand made of ice. Stranger still are the disappearances. Over the decades, a handful of individuals have gone missing within the forest, their last known location somewhere between the winding paths and silent groves. Some were later found wandering in circles, hours from where they started, confused and terrified, unable to say what had happened. Others were never found at all. Their names are etched into the lore of the Screaming Woods, spoken with uneasy reverence. Even for those who emerge untouched, something lingers, an unease, a shadow in the memory. Daring Woods does not simply scare, it marks. The air carries something old, something that listens. And for those who hear the screams once, they often return, drawn back not by curiosity, but by a feeling they can't quite explain. A call in the night, deep in the trees, that never really lets go. Forests have always stirred something primal in us. Their vastness, their silence, the way shadows stretch and curl beneath the canopy, these things awaken an ancient awareness, a sense that we're not alone. Haunted forests carry this unease further. They become spaces where the natural and supernatural bleed together, where echoes of the past cling to the trees and the veil between worlds feels impossibly thin. Some believe these hauntings are echoes, residual energy left behind by tragedy or ritual, playing on a loop in the soil and air. Others suggest forests act as spiritual gateways, places where energy pools and strange things slip through. Ancient rites, violent deaths, or simply the solitude itself may stir something from beyond. But perhaps what keeps us coming back is our own need to believe. In a world charted and explained, these haunted woods remain wild. They invite us to step off the path, to listen more closely, to wonder what might be watching from the dark. They remind us that mystery still exists, and sometimes it waits among the trees,